When I hear the name John Carpenter, I know I'm typically in for something disturbing, creepy, or just plain horrifying. The legendary director now has an anthology series on Peacock called John Carpenter's Suburban Screams. So should this one be on your watch list? The series explores the dark secrets and unspeakable evil that sometimes lurks beneath the surface of the sun-drenched streets, manicured lawns, and friendly neighbors of suburbia. Each episode focuses on one true tale of horror, told by the real people who lived through it. All right, so when I started watching this, I had to shut it off and change my entire perspective of what this show was about. Now, I thought this was a horror anthology, not unlike many that we get featuring different directors and writers just doing their best to scare the poop out of us. That's not what this is. This is a documentary series with each episode focusing on a different story of horror that supposedly happened in real life. So once I had adjusted my expectations, I restarted the show so I could give it the attention it deserved with the correct context. That didn't help though. I only got through one episode because not only is the storytelling lackluster and dull, but there are many reenactments that are supposed to augment and complement the narrative, but I found that they hindered the story even more than the actual delivery was. We are shown incredibly bad CGI. And I'm not referring to anything supernatural or spooky. There are just some environmental shots used to establish the setting. And in this case, it was storming with a lot of rainfall. We're shown a gutter with water flowing down it into a street drain. For the life of me, I cannot figure out why this shot needed to be created digitally. And not just digitally, but then atrociously fake-looking digitally. And then another shot features just rain coming down at night. And again, this is illustrated with horrendous graphics. I mean, truly, I could overlook these shortcomings if the story wasn't so lifeless and flaccid. And I was struggling to get through the 40-something minutes of just one episode. Now, at least to its credit, there were a couple of scenes that were executed well in terms of effects. Now, one involved a reenactment of people playing with a Ouija board, and there are some rather disgusting visuals that occurred during this. I think what made this entire episode, though, so boring is that while the story content was intriguing by focusing on a potential missing woman, the storytelling, it was all over the place, making a mystery seem like supernatural elements were being force-fed into the narrative just for the sake of supposed creepiness. And at its core, the actual crime, I thought it was interesting and even a bit disturbing, especially given the circumstances and then the head-scratching conclusions that the police arrive at. But this was all too dry to continue watching. I mean, it took every fiber of my being to stay engaged with the interviews and the progression of the details. Now, I appreciate what the attempt was, but the delivery, it left a lot to be desired. I mean, maybe you're going to have more enjoyment or engagement with this show. There's 6 episodes that all drop at the same time. Now, my guess is that you can watch it in any order and not have it have any effect on the viewing experience. For me, though, I may revisit it at some point, but the first episode, it didn't leave me salivating for more. And from what I watched, there was no sex or nudity, there was some profanity and violence. Now, as a reminder, I don't give couch ratings to documentaries, which is probably a good thing, especially in this case. But for this one, I don't really recommend checking it out. I mean, if you do happen to watch it and one of the episodes turns out to be stellar, please let me know what it is. So what movies or shows are on your watch list during this spooky season? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, please give it a like. Also, don't forget to share and subscribe. I'm Chris. This is Movies and Munchies. Thanks for couching with me.